NRL star Josh Aloiai has issued a powerful message calling for an end to the postcode wars after the fatal stabbing of a teenage father-to-be at the Easter show. The Manly Sea Eagles enforcer urged members of his community to fight to be a role model in an Instagram post on Wednesday night. His message comes after the Uati Pele Faletolu, 17, who on the way to hospital after he was stabbed in the chest during a violent brawl at the Sydney Showground on Monday night. Police are continuing to investigate whether the brawl was part of a postcode war between two groups, 67 from Doonside and 27 from Mount Druitt. NRL star Josh Aloiai said the youth's ancestors came to Australia for a better life, but instead their kids were hurting each other in the streets. Manly star Josh Aloiai, who lamented immigrant Pacific Islanders had lost their identity because of youth violence in a heartbreaking Instagram post. Islanders are assaulting and hitting other Islanders in the streets. Often kids. Our very own people. Where have we lost our identity? Aloiai asked. Most of our olds moved from the islands to countries like NZ and Australia to create a better life. It's one thing to be proud of where you come from because that's part of your story. It's a whole other thing to fight for your postcode and your suburb. Your postcode and your suburb doesn't care about you. Fight to be a role model for your brothers and sisters. He urged his community to fight for a better life instead of fighting for a postcode. Off the back of the sacrifices our older generations made for us to be here, fight for a career. Fight for your dreams. Fight to buy your mum a house. Rugby league boss Peter V'landys has praised Aloiai for speaking out. I want to commend some of our players who have come out in the past 48 hours and tried to calm the communities and call out this senseless behavior, which has lifetime ramifications. He told the Daily Telegraph. Our players are heroes and role models in these regions, and I congratulate those who have taken up leadership roles in this area. Rugby league is part of the DNA of Sydney. If we can play a role in breaking down these gangs, we absolutely will. The Manly Sea Eagles enforcer, pictured, urged members of his community to fight to be a role model in an Instagram post on Wednesday night. In moving response to the Uati Pele Faletolu, NRL chief Peter V'landys said the sport could play a role in breaking down the gangs involved in violent Western Sydney postcode wars. In video of the arrest, 3 chilling words ring out as police officers secure the teenager's handcuffs. 6, 7, mother asterisk 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 asterisk. A 16-year-old boy caught up in the melee was hospitalized with stab wounds to his leg, with a 15-year-old relative of the deceased later arrested at the annual show. In video of the arrest, 3 chilling words rung out as police officers secured the teenager's handcuffs. 6, 7, mother asterisk 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 asterisk. The boy was believed to be referring to Doonside's postcode, 2767. The 15-year-old relative of the deceased was charged with affray and carrying a knife and granted conditional bail during a court hearing on Tuesday. The court heard the teenager had allegedly pulled a knife and chased 3 unknown men after learning his family member had been stabbed. NSW police do not believe he was responsible for the fatal stabbing and are still looking for those responsible. It also remains unclear if the victim was involved in the reported gang activity or if he was simply caught up in the melee. Mr. Faletolu was from Doonside, with his friends reportedly telling police that those responsible for this were from Mount Druitt. Members of a Druitt group named 1-4 have been pictured making a 27 hand gesture to represent their postcode. Superintendent Danielle Emerton, from the Auburn Police Area Command, could not rule out the possibility the fight had been fueled by postcode wars. Uati Pele Faletolu, 17, on the way to hospital after he was stabbed in the chest after a violent brawl erupted at the Sydney Showground on Monday night. Members of 2 Western Sydney groups reportedly had an altercation near the adult section of the Easter show about 8 p.m. on Monday night, pictured mourners. Instead, she suggested it could have been a planned confrontation between the groups. We're trying to piece it together. It's a tragic, senseless act. This is a family event, and the fact that someone has brought a knife into the show is upsetting, she said. There were two groups involved in the affray incident where there was a knife involved. So we are looking at additional people that were involved in last night's attack. Someone knows who has done this. Police are still on the hunt for the 17-year-olds and have established a strike force to identify any other people involved in the brawl. Investigators believe the two groups of men were known to each other, assuring the public it was not a random attack. Police are still on the hunt for the 17-year-olds and have established a strike force to identify any other people involved in the brawl. Mourners have gathered to pay their respects to 17-year-old Uati Pele Faletolu. Daily Mail Australia revealed on Tuesday that Mr. Faletolu was an employee of the carnival and had been for at least 2 years. He was on his break midway through his shift when he reportedly went to meet some friends, including his younger brother, who were attending the show. Just a day before the victim shared a video at work pouting at the camera with the caption, "When you wish your GF worked at the Easter show again with you." Footage continues to circulate on social media that shows two men brawling in the middle of the family-friendly carnival. The taller of the pair tried to send his knee into the other's head as he was driven backwards before landing a series of punches in his abdomen. The smaller man retaliated by driving him backwards into a set of garbage bins before the taller man was joined by another who also began to swing his fists. The older sister of the 17-year-old's partner Taylor Pilley revealed Mr. Faletolu was due to become a father in just a few months' time. Doonside Rugby League Club have set up a fundraiser in honor of Mr. Faletolu with a goal to raise $20,000 to help lay the 17-year-old to rest. We all know how hard it is to say goodbye to a loved one, and saying goodbye to a young child must be unimaginably hard, the description read. The fundraiser has already received $18,000 in donations, with many sending their condolences to Ms. Faletolu's family and loved ones. Meanwhile, it has been revealed the 17-year-old was due to become a father in just a few months' time, with his girlfriend Taylor Pilley expecting a baby. Her sister Bree took to Instagram to confirm the rumors a baby was on the way, and said she couldn't wait to meet her sister's mini Pele.